Today, I have very strong feelings. I can tell you that. Today I feel
It's coming home! It's coming home! It's coming home! It's coming home!
Yep. World Cup.
World
here
Cup
in winter. Winter Wonderland World Cup.
2022
Qatar
on the
or
horizon.
Qatar, whatever you want to call it.
I'm a Qatar man myself, personally.
I am too. Yeah. We're going to be there with all the Indian fans. We're going to be the only non-Indian / I don't know. They're importing them from Saudi Arabia too, and I think Pakistan or something maybe.
Yeah.
We'll
Yeah.
be
wherever you get migrant workers from. I'm not
Yeah.
exactly sure which countries are on that list, but
Yeah.
we're there.
We are here. We're in our little hut right now.
Except we're not getting paid.
Yeah. It's kind of messed up.
Not even 2 cents a day.
We're paying like $30 for a beer or whatever they're charging over there. Just for them to actually not give us beer.
Yeah, no beer.
They just give us like some lemonade and they're like, beer.
We are currently in our $200 a night shipping container accommodation.
Yeah. it's honestly better sound quality.
Yes. The tinniness of the walls really gets it.
Yeah.
Just gives that smooth jazz vibe. I
Yeah,
like to say.
smooth jazz vibe. Yep, absolutely. That's what I think of when I think shipping containers.
Well, anyways, we're here. We got some World Cup to talk about.
Mhm. Breaking down the groups.
Breaking down the
We're going to
groups.
fill out an official Premiership Perusal podcast bracket live
Yes.
before your eyes. Sam's
Yes.
done his own. I've done my own. But we're going to combine. We're going to talk it through.
And I think we should preface this by saying that this is not meant in any way to be some sort of analytical breakdown of.
No, this is not like the podcast where we actually watch the games and have an idea.
Yes.
This is
This is for the bants, as the
Yeah.
kids would say.
yeah.
We're just here having a good time. So if you're looking for in-depth breakdown, minute by minute of every single match, you're looking for Qatar versus Ecuador in the 35th minute. What happened then?
This will not be your podcast.
This ain't for you.
We
but
did it for the Euros. We're not doing it for this World
Yes.
Cup. That is for sure.
If you just want to hang out, have a good time, laugh along the way,
Catch a vibe.
catch a vibe, hang out in some shipping containers, then, come along.
Yeah.
Our shipping container door is open to you.
Yes. Let's start with Group A.
Yes.
Speaking of this horrendous game to kick off the World Cup.
Possibly the worst game to open a World Cup ever.
Ever.
And they're like,
Who did Russia play in the last one? I don't remember.
now we need to know. 2018.
Yeah, 2018 World Cup opener.
Let's see. Russia versus Saudi Arabia. Okay,
It's up there.
that might be worse.
A fat 5-0.
5-0. I don't even remember.
I don't.
that
I was
happening.
gonna say I don't remember that. I remember Russia got to the round of 8 in that World Cup, but that's all I remember.
Yeah.
So we got Qatar, Senegal, Ecuador, and the Netherlands. We'll start off. We're just gonna get Qatar out of the way. I don't know anyone on this team, to be quite frank.
Yeah, I don't know anyone.
I think they all play. A lot of them play for this Saad team, which I don't know where they're even out of.
Yeah, I don't know anyone. I don't think anyone knows their squad.
The Qatar League. How about that?
And I don't think anyone expects anything from them. I know the funniest thing was like the introduction to Qatar was when they were invited to play in the Gold Cup a few years back.
Yeah.
and they were like trying to buy fans support
which was awesome.
at the game. So there's just like random groups of like 3 people wearing like Qatar jerseys.
It's the idea of not only like buying a football club and trying to remake it and trying to make it popular and give it like a brand like PSG or Man City or something, but do it with an entire country is so funny. It's so hilarious.
We're buying support for our national team.
They have a guy named Felix Sanchez managing their team, and you know what? He probably is getting a handsome payday.
I'm sure he is.
I hate to just rule them out since I don't know anyone on their team. I'm going to rule them out and say they get 0 points.
Yeah, I think that's what we're here for. I mean, isn't it? I saw they played a friendly against someone recently, and they lost. Apparently, they're pretty terrible.
I would think so.
I thought at one point they were decent, and they won.
They drew with Chile 2-2. I don't know how long ago that was.
They won.
Probably a while back. We're spending too much time
Too
on
much
Qatar.
time on Qatar.
We're
Moving
done
on,
with them.
Moving on.
Yeah.
On to Ecuador.
Okay, we actually have some Premier League guys
Yeah.
on this team. And they're all Brighton. Estupinan. Sarmiento. I mean, he doesn't really play that much, but the piece de resistance, Moises Caicedo.
Yeah. I think I liked this on Sky Sports, their squad list. They first specify Brighton and Hove Albion for Estupinan, and then for everyone else, they just say Brighton.
That's great.
The disrespect to Hove Albion.
Yeah. How could you?
Um,
He plays for both teams.
Yeah, Hank's guy, Estupinan, fan favorite. Caicedo, a fantastic player.
You gotta hope if you're USA, this is the one team you don't want to see because Estupinan rinsed Pulisic in that one game, and that would be terrible to see.
When the U.S. breaks out the Pulisic wingback.
The only other guy I know on this team, well, I know two. I know, I think his name is Hinkaipi or something like that. He's on Leverkusen, and then Enner Valencia's on this team. Former
Yes.
West Ham. Man, now in Fenerbahce.
How old is Enner Valencia?
He's got to be like
pretty
32.
old, but he's leading the line, maybe.
33. How about that?
Yeah.
I don't know. If Caicedo's anything to go by, they'd be one of those teams where they just sneak it out and they just patch it together, round of 16 exit. They're potential for second.
Yeah, I think this group, it kind of comes down to, I think a lot of people would think that the Netherlands first and then Senegal and Ecuador are kind of vying for that second spot in the group.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like they're pretty evenly matched from what I can tell, but obviously Senegal won the African Cup of Nations last year.
Mm-hmm.
No Sadio
Which,
Mane.
I
this
mean, a lot of people like to act like AFCON is really impressive and important. And there's like unironic like match fixing rigging going on in that tournament, and people are like, it's a great tournament, this means a lot. It's like, yeah, I just watched a guy pick the ball up with his hands and it wasn't called.
On the other hand though, it's a big tournament experience, and
there's a lot of talent.
The,
There's a lot of talent there. So
Yeah.
that's undeniable.
yes, for sure.
So we got Ed Mendy, Koulibaly, Idrissa Gueye, Nepalese Mendy, Chiyek Kouyaté. Do we have anyone else? Ismail Yassar, if you want to count him, not in the Premier League this year, but
Formerly.
formerly, yes.
Some guy on Tottenham that I've never heard of.
Pape
Mate
Sarr. Yeah, that's not a real guy, in
Yeah.
my opinion.
Yeah, they got a lot of quality in their squad here.
Yes, I would say so. The main thing is with Mane out, it really takes them out of the for sure second in this group. They're going to rely more on the Boulaye Dia guy up top, who's had a pretty good year as far as I know in Serie A. 6 goals, 2 assists, so who knows. But it really like we said, it comes down to Senegal and Ecuador for that second spot, and then it would be an almost catastrophe if they didn't win this group, the Netherlands, with your guy
Netherlands.
Louis van Gaal.
Louis van Gaal at the helm, the namesake of the YouTube channel, I suppose, and the Spotify account. LVG Productions, Louis van Gaal. We love him. We've missed him. He's back. I'm sure he's going to have some great quotes throughout the tournament.
Mm-hmm.
He did great with the Netherlands in 2014 when they got third place.
2014 legend Jasper Cillessen not in the squad, outraged. Outraged to find out Louis didn't pick him.
Yeah.
As far as the team for Premier League guys, obviously Van Dijk, Ake, Malacia. Trying to see if there's anyone else. No, but there's a bunch of former
Yeah.
Premier League guys in here. Daley Blind,
Bergwijn, Depay.
Davy
Vincent
Klaassen, Darun, shout out Middlesbrough,
Wout Weghorst.
Vincent Janssen.
Vincent Janssen, Tottenham legend. Davy Klaassen, Everton legend.
Wout Weghorst, did we say him?
Yep.
Okay.
Martin de Roon, Middlesbrough
Bergwijn, you
legend.
said him. Yeah. Oh my goodness. I kind of like this team. I liked them at the Euros last time, and they kind of disappointed a bit, but they had De Boer as manager, so that's why we couldn't. I would have fully embraced them last time at the Euros, but I couldn't because Frank De Boer.
Yeah, I mean, they had some real low points when they didn't qualify for the last World Cup.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's kind of been this rebuild in a sense. They did better at the Euros, but not as good as possibly they could have done.
Yeah.
And now you say Louis van Gaal at the helm. I
Yes.
feel better about it.
1,000%. Not even a question.
Yeah. I mean, Frank de Boer, he's
bottom 5 manager in the world, Frank De Boer.
maybe top 1 most fraudulent and like legit fraudulent.
Yeah, I mean, when he left Ajax, I mean, they were bound to have a lot of success, and look at them. They had a lot of success ever since he left, so
Yeah.
Crystal Palace. I mean, that was the worst starts to a Premier League
Yeah,
season ever.
what was he gone after like 7 games?
Yeah, he didn't win a game.
And then he went to Atlanta United and he was gone after like 2 games.
After did they win the cup the year before, or was that after he left they won? Regardless, they won,
Yeah.
and he was terrible.
No thanks to him, that's
Yes.
for sure.
So we gotta go Netherlands 1.
Netherlands won.
Do you feel strongly about Senegal or Ecuador? I'd probably I go like 60-40 Senegal, even with Mane.
Yeah,
Gone.
I'm leaning towards Senegal as well. I feel like the win in AFCON, I know you don't rate it much, but I think having that experience in a tournament play just a year ago, you build that cohesion, you know what it's like to win. And I think they have some quality guys in their squad. But yeah, I think Senegal and then Ecuador and Qatar.
How about that? Group B. Really, the group. We should save this one for last, honestly. The piece de resistance. Which team you want to start with? Get out of the way. You want to get Iran out of the way? No, just do England. We'll just do England. We'll put them one.
Let's just do an order.
There's no point. We already went over the squad. I think if anything, I think what we could talk about is English pundits, meme tier, interpretation of the squad in terms of how they would line them up. When I went on the pod last time and said you got to have 5 at the back, and then who was it? Gary Neville came out and actually laid out a 5 at the back.
Yeah.
It's like, all right.
I mean, I guess there's the difference of like what do you want to see and then also what do you think will happen. Even accounting for that, they were still bad.
It was so far. It was completely out of left field.
Like I'm trying to remember some of the just oddball picks. I know a couple had
They all
like
had
Saka
Mount.
benched.
They all had Mount in.
Mount,
And it's
who's
like,
been in
I don't
terrible
know
form.
what to tell you. Yeah.
I mean, I'd way rather put in James Madison before Mount.
Yeah, not even close.
James Madison and Foden before Mount. I
No,
think
the front-
some people were going. I guess, Harry Maguire is a little more controversial since he hasn't played much.
Yeah, but he's class for England, and everyone knows it. Anyone with
it
a
really
brain
is.
knows it.
A lot of love for Eric Dyer.
Yeah, very strange. Can't really have him in there. I think that, what did we say last time? We said the 4-3-3 makes the most sense with Walker, Stones, Maguire, Shaw, or you go White instead of Walker. Either way,
Oh, I gotta get Trippier in there.
I suppose.
I think the form that Trippier's in is
Well, you don't have to tell me. I just said last pod
Yeah.
that he's up for Player of the Year. So, midfield, you'd probably go Rice, Bellingham, and then it's, does he trust Calvin Phillips to have Calvin Phillips in there? At that point, it's pretty defensive. If you wanted to, you could probably get away with some teams if you did Rice, Bellingham, and then put like Madison or Mount on.
go for more of like a 4-2-3-1
Yeah.
and have more of a cam instead of like the 4-3-3.
Yeah.
It's just kind of like the question mark. No one really knows the status of Calvin Phillips.
Yeah. It's definitely interesting. Not to mention, you got to talk about it with Southgate in England. They always have Kane drop back as a false nine. So it's like, what are the odds you have
Yeah.
Kane dropping back and you have a cam? I don't think that that's super likely.
Yeah.
So I would suspect it'd be Rice, Bellingham, and then if he's healthy enough, I think they'll go Phillips. And then a front three. Who would you have in the front three? Because I think I would have Rashford, Kane, and Foden. But I could be talked into
No Saka.
Saka over Foden.
I
Although
think,
Foden's more left side anyways.
I think
I think you go Foden left, Kane middle, and Saka on the right.
yeah. I think that's probably what I'd go.
I don't know, Marcus Rashford forever can't score, but he'll be out there scoring for England.
I know a lot of people were still putting in Sterling, and
No, you can't.
that's a Southgate pick though,
Yeah.
for sure.
No, yeah. And
It could
You can't.
definitely be Sterling,
you just can't.
Kane, Saka, like
Yeah,
it was in the Euros.
Yeah, you just can't do that.
Is
You know
it
how I feel
Sterling
about
or is
Sterling.
it Chelsea?
No, it's Sterling. It's forever Sterling.
He started off the season all right,
You know how I feel about Raheem
but then they're
Sterling.
like, all right, wing back Sterling.
Yep, throw him back there. That's punishment for wanting to come to our
Yeah,
team.
I don't really need to see Sterling, but Foden hasn't done as much in the England shirt so far.
All I know and can guarantee you is that Jack Grealish is going to be the super sub for the team because that's what he does for England.
Yeah.
They bring him on, and he's just amazing for some reason.
I hope that James Madison gets some time out because, he's been like the informed player
Yeah.
of the past year and a half.
I would like to think so, but it's just, I don't know, with Kane dropping back, unless they want to do
Yeah.
Kane just can actually be up front now, and then they just have Madison as kind of an attacking mid right behind him. I don't know.
Or try and go with Madison more on like a wing,
Maybe.
kind of like a wide midfield type.
A quad midfield.
Yeah. Anyways, moving on.
I would shit my pants if they didn't get first in the group.
Oh, yeah.
Who's next? Iran.
Any players you recognize
Uh,
from Iran
Yeah, let me run through their squad here real quick, see if I see anybody.
other than Saman Gatos, my guy?
Yeah, Kudos. Johan Bosch.
Johan Bosch, Brighton legend. Brighton,
Yeah.
well represented at this World Cup. Past and
Yeah, your
present,
guy Kudos.
and possibly future.
Azmoun is a pretty solid player. He used to be on Zenit, now in Leverkusen. And Mehdi Taremi on Porto has been in good form this year in the
Okay.
Champions League. But you never know with a guy who's a 30-year-old striker. And I don't think he's done much in the Portuguese league. Maybe he has. Let's see.
Yeah, especially
6 goals, 5 assists. So,
in this competition, you expect Iran to be probably
I think they'll be.
pretty defensive.
Yeah, it's more. Can you get service to those guys and stuff?
Yeah.
And it's like,
Probably not.
that's what's scary. they're in the what Turkey was at last Euros, where they're boom or bust, and there's like a 10% chance of boom and 90% chance of bust.
Yeah,
I could easily see Iran going through. Like, it wouldn't shock me, but I
more
than likely, it's definitely they're finishing bottom.
I think really looking at this group again, it's a pretty weak group.
Yeah,
I mean, I love me some Wales, but
yeah.
let's not pretend that they're amazing. I mean, they have Johnny Williams who's playing in like League 2,
League One, please.
League 1,
Have
Swindon.
some decency.
I mean, it's kind of like a championship tier. You have Aaron Ramsey who's like dead.
Yeah, but you
Gareth
got
Bale, can he
Ethan and Padu.
stick it together for a
The
tournament?
Welsh Xavi, Joe Allen. Should we just move on to Wales? Or who's next? The U.S. is next.
Yeah, we'll just put that off to the side for a second.
Are we sure
about
that
the
the U.S. isn't finishing bottom in this group?
Oh, it's definitely a possibility.
I have a really good feeling that they are going to finish bottom.
I don't feel great about the squad.
Yeah,
I think Greg Berhalter may be the
that's-
worst coach at the tournament.
Yeah, that's my main concern. I don't like what he does with the squad. I'm not a huge McKinney guy. Pulisic, he's probably better on the U.S. than Chelsea because he's the main guy. He's just one of those guys where he has to be one of, if not the focal point of a team.
Yeah.
Aaronson's been in solid form.
Tyler Adams has been good.
Yep. Your
The
guy
defense-
Josh Sargent's been in good form for Norwich too.
Yeah, he has. The defense is pretty suspect for me. Zimmerman.
I was gonna say Walker Zimmerman walks in this room. What are you gonna tell me? Sus? Feel like you're defending his sus, bruh?
Apparently is the Tim Tebow of soccer, Walker
Yeah.
Zimmerman. And then,
What about Tim Ream?
I
We're
mean-
talking about good form.
yeah, at the other center back position, we got Tim Ream, Aaron Long.
What about Cameron Carter-Vickers, Tottenham legend?
It's just, I don't feel great about this squad. There's been, my biggest gripe with the U.S. is the number of players that they've brought into the mix is like over 100.
Yeah.
There's no cohesion. There's no consistent lineup. There's no chemistry between the players, really.
Yeah.
You just have this constant, it's like
Your
Hans
best
Hasenhüttl on steroids.
your best thing if you're the U.S. is that the idea is you have a bunch of young, hungry guys. That's really all you have going for you.
Yeah. But if you look at the recent performances,
It's been poor.
it's been terrible. I think it's a subpar squad that's made even worse by a terrible coach.
Yeah. I think my bold prediction is going to be the U.S. finishes bottom.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised.
Let's get to my favorite for the for second place.
Yeah. Let's get to Wales.
Like, can we? I don't want to guarantee it.
I mean, I love Wales. I feel like they're kind of
Let's break down the Premier League players real quick. Danny Ward. We didn't even do it for the U.S. Who cares?
yeah.
Wayne Hennessy backup on Nottingham Forest. Yes. Nico Williams, Nottingham Forest. Ben Davis, Tottenham. Mepham, Bournemouth. Joe Rodon on Rennes, but on loan from Tottenham, right?
Yes.
Okay. Connor Roberts, shout out. Joe Allen, Harry Wilson, Aaron Ramsey, now on Nice. Sorba Thomas has been sneaky productive for Huddersfield this year in the championship. Brennan Johnson, Gareth Bale, Kiefer Moore, Dan James. They at least have guys where you squint at them and you're like, they might not be good, but they'll score. That's all I can ask for from teams that are middle to bottom tier. If I have faith that you can at least score 1 to 2 goals a game, I can at least think you'll go forward.
I think Wales is set up pretty well in terms of tournament play, where it's not like this tactical strategy game. It's more just like who can play the best game that will put the ball in the net and keep the ball out of your own net. You know,
Yeah.
it's not about playing beautiful football. It's not about keeping 80% possession.
No, they're
and-
grinding.
and working the overloads on one side or the other. It's about having team chemistry and being able to score.
They're kind of the Bournemouth of this tournament.
They are.
What was I going to say? My main concern is that Ramsey and Bale are just so washed that it's like it honestly hurts them because they're gonna have to start them. But
Yeah, I have no idea what the state of Aaron Ramsey is.
I don't think he's been very good on Nice,
Yeah.
and
I
I
don't think so.
don't think last time I saw him play was the Europa League final and he missed a penalty.
But this is it.
Yeah,
This is it. This is their big moment. Moment.
Yeah, so maybe it's the win-1 for the Gipper. These two guys who used to be elite, and have a little flash still left. I would say the one thing on my mind about this team is that they really should have went to the round of 8 in the Euros last year. Had two about as unfortunate breaks as you could have, which were 2-goal swings. Could have easily won their match in the round of 16. I like them to finish second. So
Yeah.
let's throw this together.
Yeah, I think my final thought on Wales, like the contrast between Wales and the U.S. is Wales, they're similar in the fact that their squads aren't that good.
Mm-hmm.
I think Wales has a higher upper end because, the U.S. just doesn't have that many good players. But I think Wales, they have this cohesion. You know who's going to be in the squad all the
Yeah.
time, and it doesn't really change that much.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what the tactics are going to be.
Yeah.
They know how to play. They know how to win. They've done it before.
Mm-hmm. Let's throw it together. England, Wales. I'll let you pick. I vote that Iran gets third. But if you feel good about the U.S., I feel like this is just going to be terrible, and Berhalter actually is finally out at last.
Yeah, I think it's a toss-up. I could see it either way. Since you feel more strongly about Iran, I'll give you Iran
All right.
because I'm just kind of meh.
Here we go. Here's the real group. And by real group, I mean another absolute shit group. We got Group C. Who we got first? Is this
Argentina.
Argentina, the cream of the crop. Emi Martinez, Juan Foyth in this group, former Tottenham legend out there. Christian Romero, your guy Nico Otamendi, Lissandro Martinez. I feel like this is probably the best defense Argentina's had in a while, and it's not that good, but you look
Yeah.
at who they touted out at the 2014 World Cup. Like, they got away with Rojo.
Yeah, it's always been really the weak spot of their teams.
I feel like their midfield isn't that great in this, though.
Yeah, I was looking at that too.
Let's see. Just Alex McAllister out there. But then in attack, Julian Alvarez for the Premier League. So, obviously they have a lot of star power. But, yeah, their midfield, I'll just read through it. Paredes, DePaul. I guess I put Di Maria in there, too. Palacios, Papu Gomez, more of an attacker. Guido Rodriguez. Enzo Fernandez. Enzo Fernandez, pretty good. But I just don't. It always feels like it's so top heavy.
Yeah.
It's the meme where it's the Lamborghini, but it's like parked underneath like a tiny little crappy house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was thinking that too. I know a lot of people are putting them as potentially favorites for the tournament. I just don't think their squad is really well rounded out.
I think their midfield will be good enough to grind by the lower teams
Yeah.
easily, but once they get into like the semis or even the round of 8, it might be pretty tough, pretty suspect. So we'll see.
Yeah.
Who's next in this?
Saudi
Oh,
Arabia.
my gosh.
Another team we have no idea about.
Yeah, bunch of guys from the Saudi League. Do we have any player we've heard of? No.
No.
I'm gonna go on a limb and say they get last.
Yeah, I think so.
All right, Mexico next. Will the round of 16 curse be broken this year by the fact that they just don't qualify for the round of 16?
I think so. I think Mexico has been on a downward slide for quite a while.
Yeah.
And it kind of goes under the radar for some reason. But they've been pretty bad. They've lost the U.S. like 3 times, which says something.
Yeah. Well, they got Raul Jimenez.
Yeah.
So, I'm not a Mexico guy. They have a bunch of guys that you absolutely hate to go against in terms of Guardado and especially Hector Herrera.
Yeah.
Just the worst kind
Yeah.
of guys they have to play against. Yeah, well, let's get to Poland and we'll determine.
Everton legend, Funes Mori.
Ooh. For Poland, Szczesny. Your guy Fabianski not in there. I think he's retired from international play, I believe. Maybe I'm crazy.
I think it was like he didn't get picked and he didn't retire, but they're like, congratulations on your retirement. But he's like,
I didn't retire. They're like, no, you did.
I might be thinking of someone else, but
Matty Cash, Jan Bednarek. Who else we got in here? Former Arsenal youth prospect Christian Bielik.
yeah.
Is there anyone else in here? That would be a no.
No.
Well, we know that their attack should be all right. But their midfield, again, kind of suspect. They're kind of more heavy on attack.
Yeah.
They have your former guy who was linked to Arsenal forever, Krychowiak, former West Brom man himself.
The man who took the sharpest drop off.
Yeah.
He was
Maybe
once like
he was
the hot
always
item.
maybe he was always a fraud.
I think so. Then he go to like PSG.
Yeah, he was at PSG and then like Wolfsburg and then he was like at West Brom.
Yeah.
Tough.
And now he's in Saudi Arabia or
Is he?
some. Yeah, he plays for Al Shabaab.
I wish I played for Al Shabaab.
I do too. I'd be rich.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't really feel great about this Poland team, but they at least have, he hasn't been amazing this year, but they still have Lewandowski. That's good enough for me to know that they'll probably be better than Mexico.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be kind of similar to the Euros. It's like, okay, it's the Lewandowski show.
Yeah, and I mean, even at the Euros, we didn't pick Poland to make it past their group. A lot of people were kind of hyping them up because it was like almost near the peak of Lewandowski
Right.
kind of hype, and it's like, no, this team's not good. But now no one's really talking about them, and it's like, not that they're going to be like sneaky underdogs or anything, but it's like,
They're
I think
not as
people got
bad as
burned.
Mexico.
Yeah, no, that's how I feel.
Yeah.
Let's throw it together right now. Lock it in. Argentina 1, Poland 2, Mexico 3.
Yeah, I think this Group B and C are kind of sneaky bad groups.
Yeah. Yeah, they are. Group D. I like this group. There's a little interesting, kind of twist to it. I feel like each team could somehow qualify, even if Australia is just like 1%. Who's the first one? France?
Yes.
All right. Lloris, West Ham legend, or Crystal Palace legend, pardon my French, Steve Mandanda,
Steve Mandanda.
Areola, Saliba, Guendouzi, former Arsenal man himself.
Varane, Konate.
Who else do we have here? No one.
No one in attack. I saw Benzema is going to miss their first match.
Yeah, there's something there with France where it's like, it was strange that they brought him at the last time because, I don't know, there's a lot of politics in French football about who gets
really
picked.
is.
It's like, do we like you? Do we not? Unfortunately, it comes down to what is your ethnicity and religion and background. There's certain like people who are born in Africa or of African descent that don't get picked. It's very odd.
Yeah.
I think it's one of those things you'd have to look really in depth to find out like why certain things are the way they are. It's strange. With that said, a whole lot of talent. Whole lot of talent. As always.
Undeniably.
France, favorites at last Euros, absolutely bounced
Yeah.
in epic fashion by the Swiss, correct? On pens.
Yes, that's right.
And then it came out afterwards that there's a bunch of people that hated each other on the team. And
Yeah.
It was the most like French thing possible.
Yeah, exactly.
Rabiot's mom was like calling the French Football Association and leaking stuff to the media. It's just brutal.
Yeah, and you wonder if that's going to play a part in this team as well. I mean, a lot of the players are still in there. I know, obviously Benzema has had issues. Mbappe is like the world's biggest ego. Rabiot, of course, he's got a big ego. Guendouzi is pretty
Rabiot
toxic
might
at
be-
times.
Rabiot might be like the biggest like nobody to have an ego potentially like ever.
Yeah, exactly.
In like any sport. It's incredible. Yeah, I feel like the main downfall, even besides like the fact their chemistry is so off last tournament, Griezmann and Pogba were not the same guys at the time of the 2018 World Cup versus the 2021-2020 Euros.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know if they've got the talent to technically replace those guys. Dembele has gotten back to more like his old self, I guess, for them. They have a couple guys that you might not be familiar with that are in good form. I'm worried about that midfield,
Yes,
very much so.
that was kind of my first thought as well. It's
Defense,
Pretty
yes.
light.
Keeping, yes. Attack, sure.
I think the defense on paper looks good, but then you realize they have like 10 center backs and they have like maybe 2 fullbacks.
Well, maybe you get a goal and then you throw out all those center backs, and
Yeah.
then guess what? You park the bus.
I mean, they have good center backs. That
Yeah.
can't be denied, but the fullbacks is kind of a question mark.
Yeah, I wonder how Deschamps is going to play this. I still favor them to come out first.
Yeah.
Who's next? Australia. Matty Ryan. Brighton is very well represented at this
Arsenal
World Cup.
legend.
Arsenal legend, too. Some guy from Columbus Crew's on here, apparently. Guy
Aaron
from
Moy.
Sunderland.
Former Premier Leaguer.
Yep. Huddersfield, shout out. Jackson Irvine, who was on, I think, Hull.
And they have that Garang Kuol, who's going to be on Newcastle, apparently.
Did Matthew
Youngster.
Leckie play for a Premier League team? Or I know he's on like Celtic or something at one point. I forget. It doesn't really
I
matter.
think so.
Yeah, this... They're always kind of frisky. I feel like they lose games like 2-1, and it's like at the death they lose, and it's like, oh...
Yeah.
That's kind of Australia's fate. It feels like most World Cups. No, he's in the Bundesliga, Matthew Leckie. I'm crazy.
Hertha,
Hertha and...
Frankfurt, Borussia Mönchengladbach.
Oh, don't sleep on Ingolstadt. Yeah. Goodness me.
Yeah.
They probably have like a 2% chance to make it through, but they have some professional. They have a professional team out here. At least
Yeah, they can make some noise, make it interesting.
they might, depending on how it goes with Tunisia, we'll see. Let's go. Who's next? Denmark. Okay. Every time I want to transition, that just doesn't go my way.
Hitting transitions like a brick wall.
Yeah, pretty much. Denmark, the team of the Euros, kind of the underdog team.
The jewel of the Euros. Everyone
Some might
loved
say.
them.
I still really like this team,
Yeah.
but I don't know if they are as good as people think they are. Let's see. Kasper Schmeichel, Joachim Andersen, former Chelsea legend Andres Christensen, who now doesn't even play at Barcelona. So congratulations on that move. Your guy Rasmus Christensen on Leeds this year, Matthias Jensen, Christian Eriksen, Mikkel Damsgaard, Christian Norgard, Brentford's team right here.
Yeah,
Højbjerg.
I think they have a solid defense and midfield, but I think the attack is kind of a question mark, especially
it's
they
always-
relied a lot on like Damsgaard
Yeah, last time. It they really patch it together with Braithwaite, Dolberg, Poulsen.
Yeah.
So, that's just kind of how they do it. But I don't feel as great about them qualifying as I think a lot of people might. A lot of people probably pencil them in as second,
Yeah.
whereas I'm like, oh, you never know. I don't feel easy about it as I did.
Yeah, it's hard to think back to the Euros and say, oh, of course that team they should qualify easily. They were great, but I think that was definitely an overperformance
Yeah.
in that tournament. But
Yep.
I think there's quality in the squad, so it'll be a question of whether can they do that goal scoring by committee, kind of like what you were talking about, if that works, or if they're just going to get shut out by, a solid defense like France. I think they'll probably have a pretty hard time coming up against them.
Mm-hmm. All right. Tunisia it is. They have one important guy on their team, and it's Sunderland and Premier League legend Wabi Khazri.
Wabi Khazri.
And they have no one else as far as I know. I feel like if there is a random team that could pop off, I don't know why I have a feeling it'd be Tunisia.
Yeah, I don't know much about this team, but I think they are a team that people think maybe could make some noise.
Yeah, they have a little bit of. Obviously, no one believes in us because no one knows us. Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like someone is bound to kind of catch people off guard, and there's always one or two teams that do. You just gotta sniff them out. Tunisia's on the radar, but I don't feel great about it. I think that there's going to be a different team later on that we'll talk about that does it, but
Okay. So let's rank them.
okay.
First, it's got to be France.
Yep.
And then next, it's kind of up in the air.
I think we just got to go chalk and go Denmark.
Yeah, I think so.
And then we'll throw in a cheeky Tunisia and then Australia.
Yeah, I agree.
All right. Let's do it. Group E. I like this group. This
Yeah.
is probably my favorite group.
I think this is
Or second. I like H a lot too.
definitely a very tough group.
Yes.
Maybe
You could say the toughest. I would say them. It's probably them or
I
G.
think Group G's. Yeah,
Group G is going to be a bloodbath.
yeah.
But
But
which
Group
why I'm
H
so
too could
we'll,
be
we'll get to that.
sneaky good.
It will be. You know what's not sneaky good is Group A. All right, Group E.
Group
Who's the first?
A, B, C. Group E. Spain, first team.
All right.
Bobby Sanchez, David Raya.
Yeah. They better not go with Unai Simon.
Oh, but they are. He's the number one.
I would refuse to play that guy after what he did. I don't care if it's a one-off thing. That goal they conceded at the Euros was the most
the
tragic
match
thing
fixie.
I've ever seen in my life. Dave Laporte. It'll always throw me off that Laporte switched from France to Spain. It'll never not
Yeah.
throw me off. Rodri. Bunch of random old guys that used to be in the Premier League, like your
Ferran
guy
Torres.
Morata, Fernan Torres.
Torres.
They have a bunch of guys where I like them as second guys, but I don't like them as first guys for an elite team.
Yeah.
So that's what always worries me about Spain.
Mm-hmm.
Especially people love to fascinate over the way that they play. And it's like a lot of times it's them holding the ball.
Yeah, I'm not a Spain fan. The way that they play with the absurd amount of possession, but doing absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
It's pretty boring to watch, and it's not.
It's the main thing for me is
That
not that
effective.
effective.
Yeah.
It's one thing for it to be boring and effective. It's like not effective at all. Would they have like what was that game they played at the Euros when we called Sweden would win the group? And that game they had against Sweden, it was a 1-1 draw, and Sweden had like under 100 touches or something, or under 100 passes.
Yeah, it was like half an hour in, and Sweden had like 9% possession.
Yeah, and they were up like 1-0.
Yeah.
And they almost scored.
They
again.
had that one chance.
Yeah. I'm fine with this team. I don't love the defense.
Yeah.
The midfield, some aspects feel a bit attack heavy. Some guys, Koke is just like washed. I don't even know how they couldn't find anyone else over him. Asensio in the team's a bit odd. Alvaro Morata's, they forever don't have a choice at striker other than him, so they have to plug him in. It's like drafting a guy in fantasy football and like you feel the need to play him because he's your 4th round pick, but he sucks.
Brutal.
Yeah, I don't feel that great about this team, especially given who else is in the group. Let's move on.
Yeah. I know a lot of people are really rating Spain. I think I saw one list ranked them as like the 4th best, but I never feel great about Spain.
I think my main thing why I can't feel great about them is because we saw how good those teams used to be, and those teams were like all time, and for whatever reason I can't get that out of my head.
Yeah, and it was like every player in the squad was like a great player.
Yeah. Also, it was like Barca and Real Madrid are some of the best teams in the world, and the Spanish squad was rightfully so filled with Barca and Real Madrid guys.
Yep.
How many Barca Real Madrid guys are there now? Only
Not that
select
many.
few.
Yeah.
So
Not like what it used to be.
No.
I mean, there's quite a few Barca, but not the level that.
well, Barca's no longer even at that level. Anyway,
exactly. Barca is like a Europa League team.
So. Costa Rica made scenes in 2014, kind of shocking the world with their group qualifying.
Yeah, they've kind of dropped off over the past World Cup cycle or two because of the. I mean, they were punching above their weight for a while.
Yeah,
I mean, it's a tiny country, and the level that they were playing at was.
I think it's
crazy.
just because your guy Joel Campbell just never came through for him, and Brian Ruiz is no longer Fulham tier. I'm not too familiar with anyone on their defense, unfortunately, besides Brian Oviedo.
Yeah, I know Kendall Watson or Waston. He was an MLS guy, and I couldn't stand him.
Yeah, this is one of those teams who's on my radar to pop off just because they've done it before, but it's a lot of guys that aren't on the team that were obviously at the 2014 one, so I don't feel very good about them. I think they'll finish last, but
Yeah,
I wouldn't rule it out. You never know. They're kind of like the Australia of,
I think I'm
they have
gonna
like a
rule it out.
1%. Okay.
I'm putting my ban hammer on you, and I'm saying
Okay,
no.
that's fair. I'm okay with that. Germany. I'm gonna say it. I think I kind of like this team.
It feels like they're
Underlooked.
maybe on the rise.
Yeah, their last Euros is kind of a transition period team. They still almost beat England. If Thomas Muller,
Yeah,
scores on a breakaway, it's at least what that was to tie, I believe at that time. Maybe a stick lead, doesn't really matter, but let's see. Former Chelsea man Rudiger, your guy Thilo Kehrer, Bella Kocha making the team, Southampton shout out. And that's it. A lot of Dortmund and Bayern guys. Well, Kai Havertz, I guess, if you want to count that guy.
yeah.
You can count him, sure.
He plays for Chelsea,
Yeah, pretty much.
aka just stands up front and never scores.
Shout out Nicholas Fulkrug, your club.
Werder Bremen.
Werder Bremen.
Let's go. Get in the call.
They're just trying to really win it this year because Mario Götze is back in the team, the 2014 man himself.
It's pretty wild to think about.
The chunky fraud, the chunky poster boy.
Yeah. Obviously, Germany, they have talent all over the place. Question mark will be up front. Who's going to be scoring the goals? Is it going to be Thomas Muller?
They don't really have a ball winner in their squad in terms of midfield, but their attack is really solid in terms of guys that, if you're playing it to them, they can score, but also guys who can create. Leroy Sané has been much better than I think I ever thought he would be as he's left City. Musiala, a lot of people love him.
Mm-hmm.
but I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I don't love their midfield, and their defense have a couple guys that are really good, but also shaky at times. Even someone as elite as Rudiger. So
Yeah.
I just I don't know. I still like this team.
Yeah, I like them. I don't think they're going to win the tournament, but
No,
I think they're
they have a shout to win the group.
they're better than
Spain.
what they've put together for the past
Spain?
couple of tournaments. I think
Better
they
than
could be
Spain.
better than Spain.
Well, we'll get to that in a second. We got the last team. Japan. Let's get right to it. They have your guy Tomiyasu.
They have a guy named Daniel Schmidt.
Yeah, that's me.
What?
I'm on the team. I'm on the team.
How'd this guy sneak in?
I am
See
on
what
the
he looks
team.
like. Okay, he looks Japanese.
He plays in Belgium.
I'll give him that.
He's a Wasian. He's a Hoppus. He's a keep.
Yeah, apparently.
Daniel Schmidt. How about that?
That's awesome.
Tomiyasu. Do they have anyone else? Yoshida, former whatchamacallit, Southampton guy. Matoma, obviously.
Brighton.
Yeah.
Brighton is insane.
How are they not a top 4 team? Maybe this is how we knew that Potter was actually a fraud. He couldn't win with Brighton. They got World Cup caliber players out here. You kidding me?
Yeah. Liverpool and Southampton legend Minamino,
No, that guy shouldn't be anywhere near the pitch.
former Arsenal player, technically, Takuma Asano. Yeah, I don't know. I kind of like Japan as like his sneaky
Yeah,
pick.
that's who I was gonna
Oh
say as
man,
my
we're on
team.
the same wavelength.
That was my team. Rather than blowing my load on who was I gonna say?
Tunisia.
Tunisia.
Yeah.
Yeah, this team feels a lot more. I'm gonna say, and we'll talk about them next for the next one. But is another team that I actually sneaky like too.
Okay, spicy.
Is this where we plant our flag? Let's get to the groups. Should we go Germany, Japan, Spain doesn't make it? Are we ready to get bold?
Hey, when I did mine, I did Germany, Japan, Spain.
Oh,
I did it. I did it.
Let's do it.
I did it. I'm a mad lad.
Call
You're a
it in.
mad lad.
Call it in.
Japan, they've been really strong in Asia.
The Axis power strike again.
Yes. What year is it? 1940.
Group F. What a odd, like, just group of teams.
Yeah, you're really getting like the four corners here.
Yeah.
You're getting Western Europe, Eastern Europe, North America, Africa.
Yeah. That's about as widespread of a one as you can have. Let's see. Who's the first one? Belgium. They always start with the best team.
Yeah. Blame Sky Sports.
Did you see the Belgium like squad reveal thing? And they had, I don't know what I think it's a prime minister in Belgium, their leader guy.
Their leader guy.
Yeah,
Head of the waffles.
Yeah, he at the very end it showed Trossard doing the eyes celly where he goes like this, and
Okay.
then he did it to like the leader guy, and then he like did it back to him. I just thought that was real
Let's
funny.
go. Belgian vibes.
I really like this team too. I'm gonna say it. It feels like they kind of missed their window, but it also doesn't. Obviously,
Their
Courtois,
golden generation.
Alderweireld, Tottenham legend, Wout Voss, Leicester legend, leading the back line, Jan Vertonghen, Tottenham legend.
Toby Alderweireld is still in this. Jan Vertonghen.
Yeah, Den Donker, Castagna, obviously De Bruyne, Tielemans, Onana to be the shithouse guy, Big Rom, Fat Eden, Trossard, Batshuayi, Chelsea legend, Premier League campaign winning legend, Michy Batshuayi. I don't know. I kind of like this team. They're well-rounded, at least. The thing that'll always throw me off is if they're reliant on what used to be they're relying on your guy Thomas Vermaelen for a while.
Yeah.
Now that's just replaced by Alderweireld and Vertonghen.
Yeah.
So you're going to be your actual best defender's Wout Voss, who the way he's playing, I like. I like it a lot.
That's fair. Yeah, I think my concern is just the age of the squad. They must have the oldest average age
I would think
of,
so.
of like any like contending side. I mean,
Yeah.
there's probably some random Saudi Arabia where the guys are all like 40 or something, but I mean, Belgium.
Any team that's worth two shits, yeah, they're probably the oldest.
They've been kind of holding on to the golden generation as long as possible. Maybe some new guys popping up like Wout Voss and Trossard is going to be a breath of fresh air in
Yes.
that attack.
Yep.
And who knows, Eden Hazard,
No.
can he do anything?
No. Did you see that quote they came out with recently? It's just like he even admit he's like, I'm not the same guy. I've been hurt too
Yeah.
many times. I'm just not. It's over.
Yeah.
He's just coasting off the Madrid paycheck. It's where Premier League legends go to die. They're like, thank you for the paycheck. I still really like this team. I'll say it. I just feel like they're real well-rounded, but it does feel like there might be an over-reliance on De Bruyne to create at times. But we'll see.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
I'm going to
I feel confident in their ability to win this group. After that, all bets are off, but
have to disagree with you. I don't feel great about the squad
Okay.
personally, but I think in this group they'll be okay.
all right. Who's next? I bet it's Croatia. Oh, it's Canada.
Canada. A lot of
Okay.
people love them some Canada, but I think Canada just kind of sucks.
Dane St. Clair, shout out.
Shout out Emin United.
Yep, the real club of the world. Abida Hutchinson still on their team? Is that right? Am I seeing that right?
Atiba Hutchinson, you mean?
Abida.
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 He's got to be like 40.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
He's been there a while. Junior Hoylett, is he still there?
Yes, he is. He's got to be
Oh.
like 40. They might be up there on the older squad.
Yeah, but they make up for it with Davies and
Dane St. Clair.
yeah, Jonathan David. You got Kyle Larin. He's still around. He's
Yeah.
27 now.
Imagine spelling Kyle with a C. Jeez. that's
Canadians really are just bad people.
Weird.
Yeah, I hate this team. I'm looking at it right now. I hate this team. I like the fact that their keeper or one of their keepers is from Red Star Belgrade, though. That's great.
Yeah, I think it says a lot that this team finished like first in CONCACAF
Yeah.
and they're not good.
This feels, yeah, I know. And you'll see that every once in a while where a team pops off for qualifying, too. And then they get to the actual tournament and they just stink.
Yeah.
And you saw that last at the Euros with Turkey, where it's like they were like top of their group or like second barely. And then they get there and it's like, these guys don't have the same form. And they're playing Luxembourg, you know. But in this case, it'd be like they were playing Krakow. It's like, okay, congratulations.
Yeah.
No, I am not a Canada guy. Let's move on to Morocco, a team that I do.
The Hank team, the Hank special.
Well, they got Bono and that lead singer of your favorite band, U2.
Yes. Love me some U2.
Aguar, Romain Saiz, Wolverhampton Wanderers legend out there. Amrabat, I believe that is a Watford legend. Unless it's a different guy. It might be a different Amrabat. Doesn't matter. Ilias Chair, QPR, shout out at the World Cup. It's been playing well for them. And I think that's it.
Ziyech.
He doesn't count.
He doesn't.
Boufal, former Southampton guy. I'm more
Yeah.
caught up in looking at old Premier League guys I forgot existed. I don't know. I just kind of like a couple of the guys on this team.
Yeah, I think this.
Hakimi, Mazraoui. Their central defense, I don't know anyone. That scares me. Ziyech, Chair,
Well, you know, Aguerd from West Ham.
I guess.
I mean, he just came back to fitness, so
And Nesri has had years where he's looked pretty good on Sevilla in the Europa League and Champions League. I don't know. I just feel solid about them. And what are your thoughts?
I think this is a group that there's space for a team to pop off. I think some groups it's going to be hard because it's kind of established, but a group like this, I think a team like Morocco, they could make some noise, get some wins, maybe finish second in the group.
Yeah. Let's go to Croatia. Who do we have here? Your guy, Dejan Lovren. Legend. Legend of the game. Perisic, Kovacic, Vlasic, West Ham legend out there. Passlac, Chelsea, Looney, legend. Kramaric, Leicester, legend. I think that's about it. I just wonder where the goals are going to come from with this team. I kind of like the rest of it. Their defense is kind of Their central defense is fine, but I just wonder where the goals are going to come from. That's my only concern.
I wonder if
Unless
this
you
is
just have Kramaric carry.
if it's kind of like similar to the Belgium situation.
I
where
think
they
it's
just
that,
have,
but way worse.
they have these guys that they just hang on to for so long.
The Croatia wasn't even that good at the Euros last time.
No, people are really rating Croatia this time, though.
I don't see it.
I don't see it either.
I don't see it. Would you want to go? Let's get to the groups. Do you want to go? Obviously, Belgium won.
Yeah.
Do you want to go Morocco or Croatia? I'll leave it up to you. I would vote for Morocco.
Let's go Morocco. We're being fun. We're being spicy.
All right.
And Croatia third. Canada last.
Yeah. Group G. These last two groups are nice.
Yeah. These are some quality groups. A lot of interesting teams.
Not Richarlison.
Not Richarlison. Not Anthony.
All right, Brazil. Here they are. Alisson, Ederson, Danilo, Man City legend, Thiago Silva, Alexandro. Was he on? No, he's always been on Juventus. I'm crazy. Alex Tejes, Man U legend last year.
Yeah.
Casemiro, Lucas Paqueta, Fred, Fabinho, Bruno Guimaraes. Too bad Everton Ribeiro's in there. Otherwise, they have an all Premier League midfield. Richarlison, Rafinha, former Leeds man himself.
Did you say
Jesus.
Paqueta?
Yes, I did.
Oh.
Anthony and Gabriel Martinelli.
Yeah, they brought Rodrigo, but the wrong Rodrigo.
Right, even though that one's Spanish. They should have done the reverse Diego Costa on him.
Yeah,
Been like, yes, no, this guy, we need him.
they do need him.
Uh,
How's that man not getting caught up to Spain? Their strikers that they got? Come on.
ridiculous.
Stick him in there.
You would have picked Spain if they had Rodrigo in there.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, you can see why this team is favorites. I really like this squad.
Yeah, they're stacked. Crazy. I think the one question mark I would say defense.
Okay. I would say maybe like linking midfield to attack might be a bit tough at times
Yeah.
because you're just really going to be going through Bruno unless you. I don't think they'd start Everton Ribeiro. That wouldn't make sense. Unless Lucas Paqueta is a completely different player than what I've seen on West Ham, which could be the case.
Could be. Yeah, I would think Bruno G, Casemiro holding it down midfield.
Bruno Casemiro.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, no, they're first. Let's move on. There's not much that needs to be said.
Yeah, they're a good team.
We're actually going to play the whole squad announcing video in the mics right now. Serbia, this is everyone's darling. And I really like this team, but it's a bit they haven't done anything, and that's what kind of scares me about them. Let's see who they got here. Any Premier League guys? Especially their defense. Their defense is like who? It's like who?
Hey, you take that back about Milos Velkovic.
All right. I'll take it back about Milenkovic, who's been rumored with a bunch of teams and stays at Fiorentina forever.
It's just Mitrovic.
Yeah. Dusan Tadic, former legend of Southampton's way. Yeah, I mean, they have good attack. They have nice play in terms of midfield. Have a lot of options. It's just their defense is really suspect, to say the least.
Yeah,
I don't feel great about it.
I think you bring up a good point. That's like everyone sees that they have potential, but like you said, it seems like that's kind of the case. It's always been the case. Like it's always like, oh yeah, they could be like sneaky good, but then they just never do anything.
Yeah. I mean, they at least even have elite talent in the form of Milinkovic-Savic, but
Yeah.
I just can't get there with them. I don't know why. I just can't. Especially with this tough group. If they were in one of the crap groups, I would have no problem giving them second for sure over a bunch of teams.
Mm-hmm.
This group, it's going to be tough. Who's next? Switzerland?
Yes.
This is a team that's very nice for tournament play.
Switzerland, the Mad Lads calling up 4 goalkeepers.
You never know. You never know. Akanji, Fabian Scher, Zakaria, Xhaka, Freuler, Xherdan Shaqiri, Stoke legend. And I think that's it. They have 3 attacking guys, Embolo, Seferovic, and Okafor. And you know they just rely on Seferovic for his random game where he has like 2 goals.
Oh man, that guy is so bad.
Yeah, not in tournaments for whatever reason. He's always popped off at tournaments and teams that talk themselves into him and like this guy. And it's like no, not that guy, not that
Yeah,
guy. The
he
guy who
is-
scores 6 goals in 30 games.
He is the ultimate tournament player.
Their defense is decent.
Mm-hmm.
Their midfield is really solid. They have a lot of options, especially wide guys in midfield.
Yeah.
Their attack is non-existent, to be quite frank.
Yeah, they're pretty light up top, but that's kind of always been the case with Switzerland, but they make it work.
Yes. How do you feel about this team?
I mean, they did great in the Euros. It seems like they have kind of that X factor of the team togetherness that works well in tournaments. I think they got some good experience in here.
Okay.
Yeah, I think they're probably favorites for second place.
Next, we have Cameroon.
Cameroon been on the downward spiral.
Yeah.
They used to be.
They just don't have the elite guys anymore.
Yeah, they used to be in the conversations, but not anymore.
Nicholas Nkulu, for last seen with Watford, former. I guess he's only with Watford. I was thinking of the Giroud guy or Giroud. Do you remember that guy? I think he was with Arsenal for a bit.
Yes, he's Swiss.
He's Swiss.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
I confused those guys as they both, I think, played for Torino. Is why. George's Kevin Nkudu, Tottenham legend of a past year. Anguissa, former.
Andre Frank Zambo Anguissa, Fulham
Yeah.
legend.
He's been killing it for Napoli this year. Some guy named Oliver Nitcham for Swansea.
Yeah, I
Mr.
think you
Nitcham.
forgot a vowel in his name there. How do you go
Yeah.
NTCH? I'd like to buy a vowel.
Love a good Abubakar kind of guy. It's a great last name.
Yeah.
Chopo Motang for you, Bundesliga guys out there. But Mbuemo, rounding out the squad for Premier League guys. I don't like this team at all. I'll be honest. I'm just going to throw it out there.
Yeah, I don't have any expectations for them. So maybe they can do something, but
I'm going to rule them out.
I don't think so.
I'm going to rule them out. This is a tough group.
Yeah.
Uh,
All right, Brazil won.
This I'm going to let you call. Swiss or Serbia. It's a toss-up for me. I would probably, if you're making me pick one, I'd probably say the Swiss, but
Yeah. It's so tempting to pick Serbia, and I did for my personal bracket, but I've kind of talked myself out of it. But I'm going to keep it on my personal bracket. But
okay.
but
Cover all bases.
I think Switzerland. I feel like they have good experience in their squad, and they've played in some big games,
Yep.
and I think that'll help them.
Okay.
So Brazil, Switzerland, Serbia, and Cameroon.
Let's do it. All right, last group.
Last group, Group H. Grupo Salinas.
Who is the top group? Oh my goodness.
This wonderful squad announcement for Portugal where they didn't put any names. They just put the pictures.
You better know them all. Rui Patricio, former Wolves goalie. Jose Sa, current Wolves goalie. Diego Costa, Porto keeper, not affiliated with
Diego Costa.
the real Diego Costa. Delo, Ruben Diaz, Joao Cancelo, Joao Paulinho, Bruno Fernandes, Bernardo Silva, João Mario, former West Ham man himself, Ruben Neves, Mateus Nunes, Cristiano Ronaldo, and I think that's it. Soon to be Chelsea player Rafael Leao.
Yes.
I like this squad a lot, and I feel like I always like Portugal's squad. It just feels like it never works for them. And then the one time it does is when it really shouldn't have. The one tournament they looked complete ass in, the 2016 Euros,
Yeah.
and they won it.
Yeah, I think this is a team that's heavily held back by their coach.
Yeah, Fernando Santos is, I don't know what that man does to keep his job, but
Yeah, I think he's like the equivalent of Greg Berhalter. I think you ask any Portuguese fan, they'll say he is completely holding back this team. And they have so much talent, so much potential. They should be right up there in the question.
Where's Mourinho to take over Portugal when you need him?
Oh, that'd be great. Imagine Mourinho at a World Cup.
That'd be amazing.
Just give him the team.
Now.
Just give him the keys to the car for the World Cup, and then he hands them back over when he's done.
Yeah, right.
You know, you don't need him like 4 years. He doesn't want to be there for 4 years.
No.
Just give him a couple months.
Is it time for Ghana?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, Lamptey, Salisu, Baba Rahman. You remember that guy in Chelsea?
Not until now.
Yeah.
You just reminded me.
Yep, that guy. He's on this team. Daniel Marte. They have a back three of guys you get away with playing former Premier League guys. Thomas Partey, Jordan Ayew, Andre Ayew, who's no longer at Swansea. How about that? And that's about it. That is about it for Premier League guys. I'm not in love with this team, to say the least. They feel like they have a bit of surprise value, though, tucked away in them,
Yeah.
to where they could pop off. I wouldn't rule it out. They have a bunch of guys where this could be their coming out party, like Kudus for Ajax. So Ghana, the Black Stars, how are you feeling about them?
Yeah, I think their defense is all right. Midfield, they have Thomas Partey, who's awesome.
They feel like they'll be like a bit more high ceiling, low floor version of Switzerland,
Okay, yeah.
where their attack really isn't going to be very flashy, but I do like
Yeah.
their defense and midfield to kind of hold it together
Yeah.
enough.
Yeah. Okay. That's fair.
But yet I don't trust them enough to where they're super high floor, low ceiling.
Yeah.
Okay.
Uruguay, our guy.
Darwin Nunes.
We all know Pete BOC. He's probably picking them to win the World Cup.
100%, as he should. They still have Musa Lara. How about that?
That guy. Whew.
He's been around the block.
It's crazy.
And he's
to
been at
see these
Galatasaray
guys.
this whole time.
Yeah.
Let's see. Godin's still in this squad. Oh, man. Liverpool legend Sebastian Courtois, or whatever his name is, Cote. I don't know how you say it. Martin Caceres. How about that?
I'd say Coates.
Seb Coates. It's Seb Coates, everybody. Your guy Betancourt, Palestri, who's a Man U failed prospect at this point. Lucas Torreira, who I didn't know was at Galatasaray. Galatasaray, a lot of guys in this World Cup. Them and Brighton.
Yeah.
Who else do we have? Luis Suarez, Darwin Núñez, Manchester United, well-known legend Edison Cavani. This team, a lot of people are kind of talking about them like they might be good. I don't really see it.
Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of guys in the squad that feel pretty washed.
The one thing you can say is they have Fede Valverde, who may or may not be the best midfielder in the world. That's the one thing they have going for them.
Yeah.
So, does that get you over the line? For sure in a not good group. Unfortunately, they're in a good group. So it's going to be tough. Who do we have next? It's just Korea.
South Korea, my squad.
I'm going to hurt your feelings
Let's
with this
go.
one.
Up the Tigers.
They do have Kim Min-jae from Napoli. He's very good. But other than that, I don't think they have any Premier League guys because Son is playing. Never mind. And Hwang Hee-chan, of
Hwang
course.
Hee-chan.
Yeah, he doesn't even count as a player. Yeah, I don't have much to say. They're going to be the best team that finishes fourth, I think. So they have that going for them.
I always like rooting for Korea. They made it interesting last time around, beating Germany.
Yep.
Um,
Letting the Swedes advance.
Yeah, I think there's potential in this squad. They have some good
They
guys.
have the star power too, though, with Son and Min-jae.
Yeah, they have Heung-min Son, Kim Min-jae, Lee Kang-in, Hwang In-bom.
Okay, we're talking stars here. We're not talking fringe guys.
No, I'm not saying those guys are stars. I'm saying those guys are good players that
Okay.
can contribute to the squad.
Contribute.
And they always make it interesting.
Yeah, I'm having
They're
a tough
not the
one with
best
this.
team, but I think they're a tournament squad.
Okay. I think this is gonna be the one group that we're gonna be just completely ass backwards on these these last three teams. So Portugal won, and I don't even feel great about that. I like them a lot. I just don't feel great about it.
I
'cause
feel
it's
great
Portugal.
in this group.
Yeah.
I think second spot's up for grabs.
Uruguay is just one of those teams that's like not flashy, and even when you think they won't do it, they just do it. They're like, if you give them like a other sports comp, they're like the Miami Heat. It's just like disgusting. You don't know how they do it.
Yeah.
And then I would probably go Ghana then Korea, but if you want to go Korea then Ghana, be my guess. But
All right, he let me do it, so we did it.
all right. All right, let's break it down. This is where we almost rapid fire it. Netherlands, Wales.
This should be a pretty easy game for the Netherlands, you would assume.
You would think, but you never know. But
You never
Louis van
know.
Gaal's in there.
Some
We gotta
tournament
trust him.
magic.
Argentina, Denmark. I think I have to go Argentina on this one.
Yeah, I think so.
Germany, Morocco. You go Germany.
Germany.
Brazil, Uruguay, Brazil.
Yep.
It's going to be pretty chalk. It's just how it goes. England over Senegal.
Yep. France.
I
versus
guess.
Poland.
Belgium, Japan.
Belgium, Japan.
This is the first one that you got to wonder because it's at Education City Stadium. Whatever
For me, that's Japan. They're smart people.
whatever the hell that means. Didn't they play at the last World Cup and Japan got out to an early lead,
Oh,
like
and
2-0, and then Belgium came back?
Yeah, you might be right.
Well, Japan doesn't forget things and they sneak attack you. Ask us about it.
Yeah, never forget.
I'm going to go Belgium, but it's like 50-50 almost.
Yeah, I agree. I think you gotta say Belgium, but hey, if Japan gets through, that'd be awesome.
Portugal, Switzerland. Oh my gosh.
You feel like Portugal's set up to lose.
This is a game where Portugal just like would not score, and then the Swiss get like one chance and score, and then you're just sitting there sweating it out the whole time if you picked Portugal.
Yeah. I feel like you gotta say Portugal.
Yeah, we'll just do it. It's going to be chalk, but that's how it goes. This is the beauty of the tournament. It's not going to go this way. Netherlands, Argentina.
Yeah.
Can I get? I'm gonna pull up the squad for the Netherlands real quick. I just have to. I gotta get one last good look at them, especially their defense. Okay. I think I have to go Argentina. I can't with the Netherlands attack enough. I actually trust their defense. I don't trust their attack.
Yeah, I don't think you can ever trust the Netherlands. I think that's a dangerous game to play.
Well, I mean, even when they have legendary guys like Robin and Wesley Schneider and Robin van Persie, and they come up short, I definitely can't trust you when you have
Yeah,
Vincent Janssen in your squad.
I agree.
Germany, Brazil.
Germany, Brazil. Maybe we'll be a little split on this one. I think this is...
I just feel like Brazil, if you're just going chalk and you're not feeling how the games have been going and stuff, it's so hard to pick against them.
Yeah, I think so. So we're not split. But
Okay.
But I think Germany, they just aren't at that top level. They're at
This
a top
might-
level, but not top.
I think I think the next Euros might be the tournament for Germany.
Yeah, that's
And potentially
not a
the
bad
next
show.
World Cup.
Yeah.
We're
Okay.
going Brazil.
Brazil.
All right. England, France. The one team that might be able to rival England in terms of talent, in terms European wise.
Yeah. This
But
is
the
a crazy
organization of
match.
France, you just never know.
Right.
A lot of, honestly, if you really want to be frank, when it comes to French football, it's really like 10% tactics and just 90% like man management.
Yeah.
And
Keeping everyone happy.
you really don't want to bet on having to, that all the head cases are going to be straightened out and all the guys are going to be focused. Mm-hmm. I'm going to have to go England.
I got to go England.
It's not even biased. I don't feel great betting on France when they have these injuries. Because what they have, what's his name on Leipzig just went down.
And Kulu.
And now Benzema going down.
Yeah.
And you're bound to have a Rabiot catastrophe or something.
Yeah, the midfield's kind of suspect. Mbappe was a big disappointment at the Euros.
Yeah. But this could be his coming out party as far as announcing himself as best player in the world. But I'm going to go England.
Yeah.
Belgium, Portugal, the battle of the old heads,
Yeah.
as hip-hop people like Sam would say.
Man, it's like part of me wants to say Portugal, but then
We're putting a lot of eggs in the Portuguese basket.
their tactics are so bad and negative that it's hard
Yeah.
to pick them, but their squad is so talented.
Yeah. I'm gonna override it and say we go Portugal, but I really do like this Belgium squad. I think in my personal bracket I might have Belgium potentially going to the final.
Well, you're saying Portugal, but it sounds like you want Belgium.
No, yeah, you gotta cover the spread. I'm gonna let you pick, but
I
what
don't
do you feel
even know
better about?
who would be favorite in this.
I think Portugal.
Portugal.
Mainly because most people are, the betting people would, the normies as we call them, would be, Ronaldo draws a lot of money, so Portugal would,
Yeah.
that's just how it is. Even with like the Dallas Cowboys, Man U, they're like always favorites, even if they
Legacy
shouldn't be.
teams.
Yeah.
Okay.
Whereas Belgium, I don't know, older squad. It's going to be later in the tournament.
Yeah.
They could
Good
be
point.
gassed.
Good point.
That's what we'll do. Portugal, Argentina, Brazil.
Match for the ages.
I'm going Brazil.
I think
And
you
I
got to
don't think
go
it's-
Brazil.
I don't think it's close.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a gap. I think I like Germany better than Argentina. What do you think about that?
Okay. Yeah. I think Argentina is probably the most overrated.
No.
Not that they're bad, but
I think Spain.
just
I think a lot of people would have Spain going for it, and we didn't.
I see a lot of people saying
Lots of
Argentina's-
people.
Lots of people are talking about Argentina winning the World Cup. I just don't think it's
Yeah.
gonna happen.
There's no midfield. There's really no midfield. It's a
Yeah.
big hole in their midfield.
I mean, to me, Brazil is probably the favorite.
Brazil, they're bigly favorites.
Bigly. All right, England versus Portugal.
the European bros. There's a nice bond between the English and the Portuguese.
Yeah.
I think
It's got to be England for me. I think England has probably the most well-rounded squad in the tournament.
yeah.
And they have the easy group. So I think they'll be more primed for a late run by not having to
I
exhaust
mean,
guys.
that's how it fell for England at the Euros. They had not necessarily like the easiest group, but a pretty easy group, and then their ride there was the easiest. I mean, they played Ukraine in the round of 8. I mean, good God.
Yeah, and then they have like the tough match. The test was Germany. This time it'll be France. It's like if they can get past France, then
I think their real test was Denmark in the semis at the Euros.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. I think
I'm gonna
Bit of
say England, but I don't feel great about it.
I'm gonna say England as well.
They're bound to crap their pants at some point.
Oh yeah.
And then we get because everyone's picking Argentina Portugal final, so we get that in the final. How about the third place battle of Messi versus Ronaldo? Truly the best of timelines.
That'd be great.
Brazil, England.
I see no other way than for England to get to another final and lose.
I don't even feel that way necessarily because I think a lot of teams could go before England. Well, not a lot of teams, but you know what I mean. Like it's very possible that other teams go before them, and as chalk as it is, Brazil just feels like the best team.
Yeah.
Does it not?
I think so. And you say it's chalk though, but I think a lot of people are saying like Argentina and Spain and France, Germany.
Do people have eyeballs?
You know, I feel like England and Brazil are kind of a little more under the radar than you would expect.
We're going Brazil.
As much as they can be.
We're going Brazil as the winner.
Yep.
There it is.
There it is.
Can we save it or can you just like PDF screenshot the whole damn thing so we have
I wonder if
to
I
look
can
back?
do that.
Oh my gosh, yeah, save as PDF.
I don't know why that is.
Well, that's fine. We can at least see the flags.
See,
That's great. Look at the Korean flag on here. It's like the very, very
The tip,
top is cut off.
all right. Yeah, this. Does
Wait.
it say what the final is?
Wait. Go down. Quarterfinals. Is it cut off at quarterfinals because it's going like over that way?
Yeah, we have Belgium, Portugal, England, France. Yeah, it does cut off.
Maybe just save the ones for the groups and then we'll have to remember
Yeah.
save the groups and we'll remember the whatchamacallit. We'll base it off that. Awesimo. Do you want to give a call for top scorer?
Top scorer,
We were really high on Harry Kane being the top scorer.
Harry Kane. It's not a bad shout.
I feel like it's Kane. Well, at least how it's been. Kane is setting guys up more rather than he's the one banging them in. Yeah.
Yeah, that's also a good point.
So maybe if it's someone on England, it's gonna be like Foden or who's ever in that Sterling role for the tap-in merchant.
Neymar, maybe.
Neymar's been nuts. Maybe Richarlison.
Richarlison. Ronaldo just for the absolute
Ronaldo
banter.
could. Ronaldo could.
Ronaldo with like 4 penalties.
I mean, we've been talking about how it's Brighton's year. Why not Leo Trossard?
Okay. Breakout player potential.
Not even breakout. He's just really good.
Yeah.
And I've been on him since day one.
Breakout to like the mainstream.
What about like, even though we don't have France going that far, like what if Mbappe just kind of carries France's attack enough?
Yeah.
I mean, who else is going? Giroud?
Mbappe.
Oli Giroud.
Yeah. Could be.
Someone on Argentina. It wouldn't even be Messi, would it? It'd probably be like Dybala or Lautaro Martinez.
Darwin Núñez.
If you have Uruguay going far, sure. All right. Is there any other
Benzema,
predictions you
maybe.
wanted to give for the World Cup before we send this bad
Give
boy
me
out?
give me your one dark horse team out of all of them.
To win it all, or
Just
I think to qualify for the next group, we agree it's Japan. But I
Yeah.
wouldn't rule out Tunisia if you had to give me a second. If you want to give me a dark horse to win it all, keep scrolling down. As dark horse as they can be, I'm going to say Belgium.
Belgium.
Yeah.
They're kind of like the perennial dark horse team.
Yeah. And now it's weird because they should have already achieved what they had, but they didn't. And
Yeah.
yet they're still a dark horse. They're
Yeah.
the underdog. They're the forever underdog.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think Belgium's that team where it's just, it could happen. You just never know.
Yeah.
How about you? Do you have a perennial dark horse team?
I think those are good picks. I mean, you can't rule out Switzerland making a run.
Yeah. You can't. They're built for a tournament. Same with Denmark.
I'm really hyped about Japan.
Yeah.
Maybe dark horse in a sense would be France winning the World
Yeah.
Cup, just because
Only problem is you just said you're not high on their best player.
I'm not high on them. I'm not.
Yeah.
But I think that maybe suits them more because they're not really favorites.
I would probably rank it in terms of dark horse. I go Belgium, Germany, and then France. But
Germany, not a bad shout. They could get someone to pop off up front.
who besides Spain is going to be your biggest disappointment?
Can I say the U.S.?
Sure. I mean, I think there's a good chance they get 0 points. I wouldn't rule it out. They very well may lose to Iran.
To the groups. I think Mexico,
Yeah.
they're pretty bad. And people always rate them just because they're kind of a legacy team.
Croatia and Serbia. Sorry, Slav bros, but we're out on you this year.
Croatia, I think, is a good shout.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know that we're gonna end it on that. You know some shit's gonna happen to where Japan gets screwed and gets third in the group, and Spain undeservingly gets second. You know that, right?
Yes, 100%.
And we're just gonna
100%.
we're gonna hold on to that for the
We're
rest
gonna
of the
be
tournament.
coping the rest of
Yeah.
the way. This should have been
Pure
Japan.
Pure seethe and cope, and then Spain's gonna suck and be like, I think Japan would have had a better chance to win that.
Yep.
All right, signing off.
Yeah.
The World Cup, it's here.
It's here. We'll
It's
see you
Qatar,
sometime
Qatarian,
next week, I
Qatari.
guess. All right.
Adios.
Until next time.
Mis amigos.
Arigato.
Arigato gozaimasu.